and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
Represent the world. My job is to represent the United States of America. The time for small thinking is over. We are a country that stands united in condemning hate and evil in all of its very ugly forms. We must restore integrity and the rule of law at our borders. The time has come for a new program of national rebuilding. I'm also calling on this Congress to repeal and replace Obamacare. We must work with, not against, the men and women of law enforcement. We all bleed the same blood, and we all are made by the same God. As the Bible teaches us, there is no greater act of love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Ryan laid down his life for his friends, for his country, and for our freedom, and we will never forget Ryan. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States.
Hey, everybody, it's Bam, Sports, Politics, and More. And I'm your host, John Brown. My co-host, Nick Durst, is going to be here tonight. He's actually seeing the Book of Mormon. But I wanted to open with some highlights from last night's presidential speech to a joint House of Congress, because I really thought that was a real nice turning point. So we'll get a little bit more into that today. We'll discuss, how he crossed some party lines, how, extremists on the left and right both didn't like it, and that's probably the best for America. We're talking a little sports, so we're talking David Wright, going back to New York with a sore shoulder. There we go. Now his career may be over. We'll talk about the Jets cutting Mangold and probably cutting Revis. Talk about AP, talk about coming to the Giants, and, everything else that goes on in the world of sports. We're going to get a 10 at 10 from Andrew. I think we have a phone call set up with Frank. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Probably in the 8:30 hour. But a real packed show, a real packed time, an exciting time to be alive. So let's start right where the audio picked up, right from Trump's speech last night. So, even the fake news CNN people said that 78% of the people that watched Trump's speech last night had a more positive outlook and enjoyed the speech. They thought they had a more positive outlook on America after the speech, and they thought it was a good one. I loved it. But it was very much classic Trump. This is the exact guy who's been doing it. This could have been a campaign speech of his. But I think his ability to speak to the American people without the filter of CNN or New York Times or whatever. It helps. It really helps when you get to see, just raw, real Trump, and I think it helps. So I listen to a lot of talk radio. Not only do I do talk radio, I listen to talk radio. And the conservative talk radio guys, Mark Levin in question here, aren't happy with Trump's agenda. Now, they like certain parts of it, and they certainly like Trump more than they would have Hillary. But these never Trump detractors, the Ted Cruz zealots of the world, are still very much embedded in their camp of Trump's not a real conservative. Oh, excellent. Just got a great news. My liberal buddy, Brian, said he'll be able to join us here shortly. So we'll get him in a couple minutes as well. We got Frank calling in at 8:30. So that should work. Yeah, so we'll have a nice little show lined up. So just, like I was, conservative talk radio, and, the word conservative has really, not that it's become a dirty word or anything, but it's lost all meaning because you have all these, idiots who hold that high up. You're not conservative enough. And it's just ridiculous. Also, you got a lot of essential players in the quote-unquote conservative movement who I despise and I hate, and that they jump on to these stupid wedge issues. What bathrooms? Who cares? Transgender people are less than 0.5% of the population. They've been using whatever bathroom they want for the last 100 years. Why does it matter? Let them use whatever they want. That's the wedge issue. It affects almost no one. It literally plays on people's bigotry and their fears and their anxieties and their moral outrage. So it plays on the left so they can shout from the high ground, and it plays on the right, oh, Jesus. It's just nonsense. Who cares? Mark Levin and that never Trump idiots, McMuffin, that dumbass Skewge, and, you get that John McCain and Lindsey Graham. That warmongering nonsense, we're done with that. We're past that. I was having an argument with Brian the other day, speaking of the devil, that I don't even call myself a Republican anymore because there's a ton of Republican programs that just don't work. I'm out. I don't want any of that. And I'm certainly not a Democrat, even though that there are some Reagan Democrats I like and a couple of guys who are actually pretty good to go. But for the vast majority of them, they want to redistribute wealth, which I'm out on that too. So I'm a centralist. I'm a civic national. I don't think that one race or any of that creed or whatever should be dominant over another, or this is America for Italians or any of that kind of nonsense. What I think is the American culture, the American life, the American society we built is the best. And if you want to live here and be part of it, you need to assimilate into it. And that doesn't mean you need to give up your heritage or give up your religion or give up anything. You don't got to give up anything. What you can't do, and you can take this right out of common sense, right out of Thomas Paine, your civil rights ends when they start infringing on others. A great example. If your religion says you can marry a 9-year-old, guess what? You can't, because you're infringing on the rights of that 9-year-old. They're not a consenting adult. But if your religion says you got to wear a funny hat and you can't eat pork and you can't ride the subway and you blah, 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 you can do all of that. You can live your particular life however you want, but you can't infringe on others. And, they used to call that libertarianism. The problem with the Libertarian Party, and why I never got involved, is they're all about open borders. Their freedom ideology sort of crosses over to there, too. And that's ridiculous. Why did our generation of young American men die on the beaches of Normandy so that we could just let in whoever wants to come here? And I'm not playing on Republican talking points about ISIS. I'm talking about just the fact that in reality, there's only a certain amount of room for our society, and it can grow exponentially. But right now, we can't just get an influx of people, because we do have a ton of social programs that are great. They can't sustain when you add 10 million people that are a drain. So, it's tough. It's tough. So actually, speaking which, to rebuttal me, I actually got Brian on the line right now. Let's see if we can get him on the air. Brian, let's see if we can get him. Maybe you can rebuttal this with some.
Yo!
Hey, Brian, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
Not much, not much. So I don't know if you were listening to the beginning of the show,
I
but I
was not.
played some excerpts from last night's Trump address. Did you watch?
I didn't see the whole thing, but I read some articles today.
And what'd you think?
Run of the mill. He's kowtowing to the Israelis by saying how a big problem this anti-Semitism is, and but it wasn't a terrible address. I'll give him that much.
All right, before we go any further, I love this talking point. So the left loves this. So they talk about anti-Semitism, Jewish graveyards, bomb threats, that's because of Trump. And then on the same breath, they talk shit about Israel. So it's like they hate Israel. They don't think we should be giving them money. They hate Netanyahu. But on the flip side, Trump is the anti-Semite, and Trump is the one who's, quote unquote, flaming all this anti-Semitism.
Well, this is the thing. The anti-Semitism in, say, America or really like anywhere really is a separate issue than the Israeli policy issue, which especially here in America, there's a big difference between, your run-of-the-mill American Jew and a Zionistic Israeli. Would you agree? Would you agree with that?
Completely disagree because listen, you could be against. Oh yeah, we got a 10 out of 10 coming up here shortly.
Oh great!
I'm gonna make a point and then I'm gonna add Andrew in. But here's the point: you can't say that Trump's an anti-Semite when he has a Jewish daughter, Jewish grandkids, a Jewish man is at the top of his advisory board. He's done more for Israel in the last 4 weeks than Obama did in the last 8. Now, you could say Zionist, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sure he has a black friend, too, when he was kicking all those people out of his housing.
30 years ago, when he owned all these buildings, one thing happened. How about when he got the Freedom Award with Rosa Parks? No one said that Trump was a racist or a bigot or anti-Semite, any of that nonsense until he ran for
I am not in the Trump is a bigot. I'm just joking around. I'm not in the Trump is a bigot class. It's the only thing you get with Trump is he's not a racist. He's just the number one choice of racists.
Please. Oh, well, David Duke likes him, and David Duke's in the Klan. Thus, circle logic is he's David Duke. It's retarded. You know what? Obama was the number one choice for president for all ISIS members. Does that make him member of ISIS?
I don't think he was the number one choice of ISIS members.
Oh, really? Let's not spend any money on the military. Let's have the smallest military since pre-World War II. Why would they not love Obama?
I think this military spending's enough as it is.
Hey, not only would they not love him for that, they'd also love him because he was giving them money. Oh, destabilize fucking Libya. Here's a bunch of Stinger air missiles.
Hey, guys, I'm here.
Oh, Andrew, what's going on, man?
Eddie!
I gotta tell you guys something. Do you know that Donald Trump actually won the Jewish National Fund Tree of Life Award?
I did. He was actually the leader of the Jewish American Parade in 2004, 2005, I think.
Yes, he was. He was actually going down Fifth Avenue. You can look it up. There's photos of him carrying the Israeli flag. So, you want to talk about how anti-Semitic this man was? I voted for him because during the campaign, and not that many people want to talk about it, especially how the drive-by media, they did it. I looked up a bunch of YouTube videos when Trump was campaigning. One campaign event when he was in North Carolina 2 years ago, he said, "We have to look out for Israel. They are completely being forgotten."
I completely agree. Listen, they're the only free market democratic ally of ours in a sea of snakes in the Middle East, which is filled with unstable dictators who are objectively violent and unnecessarily brutal, and who are only in power because we're stuffing their pockets with foreign aid. But Andrew, what's your 10 of 10 tonight?
All right, let's move on to the 10 of 10 because it is a complaint fest about the 2017 Oscars.
All right. Sounds good.
I like it.
All right. So here we go. This is the rules for our new listeners in case they don't know how the 10 of 10 works.
Andrew, can I just stop you there? Are they all complaints? All 10 things are complaints?
Yes, it's all negatives.
All right.
I love it.
Yes, because I told Nick about that earlier today. So basically, here's how it works. I start off from 10 to 1. Usually it's Nick and John, but tonight our special guest is Brian Maurer. So here we go.
Yeah, but okay.
Number 10. The Oscar ceremony overall is too long. Why was it 4 hours? And why did I stay up till 12:30 watching this?
Well, you stayed up because you're a sucker. Because I know for a fact that they had the worst ratings in years, and the vast majority of people didn't stay up. They found out about the big blunder at the end of the Oscars the next day in the news, like I did.
When I'm watching this ceremony, as bad as it can be at times, it's fine, except for they don't need to do all these very small technical awards. They have a whole nother a night of that. They could do all the technical awards they want. I don't know why they keep in the main ceremony bloating the running time to over 4 hours.
And I agree. The main awards should at least be, best adapted screenplay or best original screenplay or, best actor, best actress, best overall picture, best supporting actor, best supporting actress. Make the show focused on that. As far as animation, listen, I agree with you. That's a whole separate category.
We're worried about baseball cutting out, intentional walks to cut 15 seconds. How about we stop the hour and a half long circle jerk at the Oscars that just bores people to death when no one's watching? But anyway, continue. Number 9.
All right, here's another reason why the Oscars were too long. Why in the world did they have to come up with this dumb idea to have these actors talk about their favorite movies and waste our time watching those segments?
Well, the Oscars is always going to be filled with these little segments they do. They get this act. They're always trying different things. For years, they did we bring up all these old, past winners, and we have them stand around announcing the nominees for the best women, for the best men, and they've done that for years. They keep trying different things. It seems like none of them work, and it really didn't work this year either.
Definitely agree. Okay, number 8, and I'm sure John's going to agree with me, I hope. Why in the world do you have to, these women in general, why do you have to go braless? Stop it already. Please.
Wait. Pump the motherfucking brakes. You're saying you don't like chicks with not wearing bras?
In public.
Oh, I disagree. If a chick got some perky ass titties, I'm all about it.
You got to understand. This is, if you look at the history of the Oscars, anybody you say think of an Oscars dress that you remember. 9 out of 10 people would say Jennifer Lopez's, braless dress from whatever year that was. It's even been parodied by the guys from South Park doing it 2 years later. And this is a branding opportunity for these people. So they are trying to stand out in any way they can. If that's stand out, tits out, that's how they're going to do it.
Tits out for the boys. Listen, titties sell fucking cars, man. That's the way it works.
Mm.
Oh,
I will say, Andrew, you do have a point. I do see some old broads over there. They start getting that neck vagina. They're way too old to be running around with no bra, and I'm out. I completely agree. That's
quit. I'm sorry.
A couple of those skanks were terrible. Ugh.
Exactly.
All right. Move it along. Number 8.
Yeah. No, we're up to number 7 now.
Come on, John. You're missing.
All right, number 7. John brought this up earlier. The Oscar ratings overall went down.
Yeah, this wasn't surprising because when there's not a fan favorite, and the Oscars they really gotta, like, when you have popular movies that are like that everybody likes, they make $1 billion at the box office, and it doesn't get a sniff at the Oscars other than some off, really, way low technical award. They're not in the mainstream. I'm not saying, the best picture should be Star Wars, Marvel Comics. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that some representation of the films that people actually go see would be warranted, and they'd get better ratings if they did that.
I completely agree. And I think part of that is the real, catalyst to this lower ratings is the fact that, Hollywood's gotten more and more elitist. where this is an art film, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to get all these things. Yeah, but no one saw it. So who gives a shit? I'm sure it's very acted really well, according to you. But, there wasn't any movie this year that I thought was actually terrible and got a lot of Oscars. They do that. They do that. Like it's about like a cause or something. So they just, stuff it with awards.
I think they did that with Moonlight. I think they did that with Moonlight a lot. I mean, it was an okay film, but Best Picture, not by a long shot.
Oh, this is why Moonlight won Best Picture. Hashtag Oscar's not black. Oscar's so white. That's exactly what.
Oh no, they doubled down. It was gay blacks. They were all over.
Oh, that's it. If they could get gay, black, transgender females, sign me up. Fill up all the quotas all at once.
Oh, remember this. Moonlight had basically the same plot of Boyhood. Basically, one man growing up from a kid to young adulthood. That's how that movie played out.
Oh, wow. That's never been done.
Except he was gay, hood rat, from the hood. Did they mention he was from the hood? Oh, wait a second. He was from the hood, just so you know.
Yeah, I saw the movie already. They called it Antoine Fisher last time.
Yeah, well, Boyhood should have won Best Picture 2 years ago. Stupid Academy.
Anyway. Number 6.
All right, so I have to quickly bring up Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
He teased President Trump.
Jimmy Kimmel should be number 1 on the list. Now, first Trump barbs, which were, as sharp as a spoon, because he is just flat out terrible. His jokes, him bringing those regular people.
Goes to number 5.
Oh,
gosh. Jimmy Kimmel turned the Oscars into an unnecessary episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live.
It was. Oh, he's dropping candy from the ceiling. It was so Bush League, and that's exactly not what the Oscars is supposed to be. He was an absolute terrible host. Bad choice. And the only reason he got it is because he works for ABC.
I have to agree. And, when it comes to the Trump barbs, listen, if they're actually funny, I'm all about it. Melissa McCarthy's Spicer impression is fucking hilarious. I love that. That's good.
Stuff.
That's good comedy. It's well written. She studied him because she got his mannerisms and stuff. It's really good. Yeah. His stuff was it was so low hanging fruit, just like silly nonsense. And even when he had an opportunity to make some funny jokes, like the OJ one, he really should have knocked that out of the park. It was a softball, and he just he took the a little.
Yeah, he's not funny. I don't know how he got his show. He was the less funny guy on the Man Show, and he just still, well, I actually do know how he got a show, but, it's for another day.
Well, I got to tell you right now, Adam Carolla, the other guy from the Man Show, he does a podcast now where he's just dropping red pills on everybody. That guy's great.
Carolla's good. He's funny. He's actually funny.
He's very, very funny. He's on Joe Rogan's podcast every so often.
Yeah. He's on
there. If you get a chance, check it out. It's hilarious. He's a lunatic. I love it. All right, number 4?
Yeah, we're already up to number 4. Crazy. All right. So basically, the next 2 are going to be about this awful, awful segment regarding the tour bus.
Oh,
and the reason why I would say it's awful because I was reading the New York Post today, and this is why I bring this up. So here's the story of a sex offender named Gary Allen Coe was allowed into the Dolby Theater as part of the tour bus skit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did. That's the first I'm hearing of this, but yeah, get a couple of random weirdos and throw them in. What could go wrong?
Yeah, these idiots. Oh, I talk about vetting. Oh, the vetting is fine. Vetting's fine everywhere. They can't even vet their own things. And more hypocrisy. Don't build the wall. Every dickhead who went up there to suck their own dick on stage. Meanwhile, there's a gigantic wall to keep the public out of the Oscars. Ridiculous.
Well, there's a wall in every building. That's not something crazy.
No, they put up a plexiglass one to keep the crowds away from taking pictures.
I mean, whatever.
And guess what? There's a border on every country. No one's trying to do anything. No one's thinking out of the box. We're just trying to get their au pair to come in.
Building a wall would be the definitive thinking in the box, though. No.
Yeah.
Oh, why we thinking outside the box? We need new innovation ideas to not have open borders. Yeah, no, I understand. Let's get economic slaves who we can just pile in unskilled labor, pay them dirt money, and then we just yummy, yummy, yummy profits. You know,
Absolutely. That's what the Republicans have been doing for the last 30 years.
well,
Using these slave labors on farms as migrant workers, using them for in meat factories, wherever they can, and nobody ever comes down on the people who hire these people. If they just said, "It's listen, e-verify you, you're getting a massive fine," there would be no Mexicans here tomorrow. Instead, they want to build a bullshit wall.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not the Republicans who are keeping them on the lower class. That's the Democrats by doing nonsense like press one for Spanish, so they never have to learn English. They never. So now you have 2, 3 generations deep.
Do you want to build a wall?
That's one of our new sound bites now. I'm just setting
Oh,
off
nice.
the show. Every time that Brian and John political and they talk about immigration, I have to play that so that way they'll pay attention.
The show got drops now. Who upped the budget?
We had an audio clip and a fuck. Oh, this is great. You can tell Ines to suck it. We're fucking coming in. Start calling me the fucking J-Man.
All right. So this is where we transition into number 3 now. And Gary's fiance, Vicky, and this was a separate article in page 11 of the New York Post today. There was an article written by Ian Moore, I think that's the guy's name, and he talks about how she was given a $625 designer sunglasses by Jennifer Aniston as a wedding present because the couple was engaged.
Okay.
Who is this guy? Who's Gary? Is that the sex offender?
That's sex offender I just mentioned earlier.
I didn't even put two together. I didn't even know. I forgot when you said sex offender and said his name. I immediately forgot his name.
So they got themselves in, and the first thing was ask for Gibbs. That's about right.
That's what happened. I remembered it. I watched the show.
Oh, what a great microcosm for exactly what's happening south of the border.
I would also bet my left testicle that wedding, I'm throwing up air quotes, you can't see them, but I'm throwing them up, never happens.
Hey, that's my fiance.
All right, so let's change the topic because we've been on it for too long. We're going to go into number 2 now. Let's talk about Iranian director Ashgar Bahani.
Oh,
He
this
won.
motherfucker.
Yes, this is why John's not going to like this one.
This guy is such a hypocrite piece of shit. Listen, he's literally writing us an op-ed to shame America.
In the New York Times, yes.
He lives in a country that literally murders gays. So all those fruitcakes in Hollywood that are literally there at the award ceremony, murder. You're Jewish, murder. If you have a stamp from Israel, you're not even allowed in Iran. So the idea that he takes the moral high road is retarded. And the fact that Hollywood just wants to pat themselves on the back. Oh, we love the Iranians, they're the best. Just nonsense. Standing ovation. I don't know if you guys saw the.
This is the guy who got stopped at the border.
No, he's a director. I don't think he even got stopped. I think he's just fucking make believe. But the cover, not the cover, but like the top story on the Onion this week was Giant Near gets 6-minute standing ovation at the Oscars.
That's about
and
right.
what's stupid about Iran is, and I'm a very many people openly know I'm like a big follower of Michael Savage's program, The Savage Nation. And he talks about how, and I looked this up and I've done my research. Do you know that in Arabic they chant Alma Lamrika? You know what that is?
Death to America?
Yes! That's what they chant!
They have a national holiday that's Death to America Day.
Yes, it's part of the Iranian Revolution that was done almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, hey Brian, how'd your boy Jimmy Carter handle that one? Fucking idiot. This whole Islamization of the Middle East happened right then and there. When that Imam originally took power in Iran, we should have gone there and stopped his ass. Instead, Jimmy Carter, that fucking limp-wristed bitch that he is, let that shit go on, and now look at it. Mess. Anyway.
I think there's no response. All right.
I think I got it.
Number one, because Frank from Brooklyn can be calling any minute, and he's more than welcome to call in. In fact, the number, if he does want to call in, is 718-717-8296. So that would be for him. Let's go to number one. That is Warren Beatty.
Hey, Andrew, halfway through your read, you turned into a robot. No one heard you.
Oh, I'll say it again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll repeat myself. If John from Brooklyn wants to call again, the number is 718-717-8296.
I'm glad someone's paying the bills. Yeah, I'm the worst at that.
The caller was going to be calling in again.
Yeah. Nick is the one who does all the reads. I'm terrible. I always forget to do that. You can listen to the radio on UC. You can listen to the show on ucyradio.tv, or you can listen on the TuneIn app. You can download us on iTunes. You watch us on YouTube. You figure it out. If you're listening right now, you know how to listen. There you go.
Yes, and please, by all means, check out our website, knickknacknews.wordpress.com, please, because Nick Durst really works hard on that website.
Also, new plug, if you want America First Politics, go to afteractionreporting.com. The other day, I posted my story about Corey Feldman, and I had the best traffic day I've ever had. I had 4,000 unique visitors. What up?
Yeah, thank God that Corey Feldman got raped, so you could post that.
No. My story wasn't about Corey Feldman getting raped. The lead to that story was the fact that The View shouted down a rape victim because they're terrible. They're literally toting the liberal narrative line, just toting their worldview to the point where, oh, yeah, I was molested as a child. Yeah, but that will hurt the industry. Wait, time out. So we give a shit about the industry that's passing kids around?
Yeah. That's
not that anybody cares about the industry, but Corey Feldman is a lunatic, and to let him just spout out any kind of nonsense on your TV show is irresponsible.
Okay, so Corey Feldman's a lunatic. What about Elijah Wood? Because Elijah Wood makes the same exact claims, but he's never been a drug addict. He's never had any of the issues that Corey had.
Are people not allowing Elijah Wood to say whatever he wants?
They're not even booking him on the show.
Oh, he's blacklisted, Elijah Wood?
Yeah, they said no Frodo. No Hobbit.
Oh, God.
All right, Andrew, hit us up with number one, and then you got to go because I'm adding Frank.
Yeah,
one
please. Frank from Brooklyn.
One does not simply get raped.
One more thing, John. Can you text me the link of your website later on?
Sure. I'll send you a Facebook message.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway mistakenly announced the wrong Best Picture winner, first announcing that La La Land had won. But producer Jordan Horowitz announced the real winner was Moonlight. And we have to blame somebody who was criticized on page 10 of the New York Post today, accountant Ryan Coleman, for handing Betty the wrong card.
I don't believe that one little bit. Why would there just be an envelope that said that they don't make envelopes with every movie in case they figure out the winner? They're not like deciding right then and there.
All right, I can actually add something here. I seen it online today. What happened was this. They handed one, there's always two envelopes of every single thing, two winners. So it's like a verification process. They have one for the people they handed to announce it, the presenter, and they have one for posterity, for A, just in case anything goes wrong with that one, or B, for historical record's sake. What happened was this. They handed Warren Beatty the second envelope from Emma Stone's Best Actress for La La Land. That's why he looked so confused when he opened it up, because it didn't just say La La Land. It said Best Actress Emma Stone, La La Land. Crazy ass Faye Dunaway didn't see that, just was like, why aren't you saying La La Land? He's like, and he showed it to go like, hey, look at this, and he just shouted out La La Land, and the rest is history.
Yeah, well, he's washed up cocoa, but like, listen, if he knows it's the wrong envelope, why is he showing it to her? Why does he just walk back and get another one?
Because he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what's going on. He's old.
Well, that's what happens when you get fucking people out of retirement home to read some shit on TV.
For something like that, for Best Picture, absolutely shouldn't. They're too old. You had your time. Hit the bricks.
Oh, don't worry. They were in Bonnie and Clyde together. Whoever the fuck remembers that movie. Like, what year did Bonnie and Clyde come out?
I think it was the 1800s.
It was a silent film that you had to play piano with. Bullshit. They should have had Mel Gibson up there. He would have told the truth.
Mel Gibson, what's up? Did you watch his movie? That was good stuff.
Yeah, dude, he's a good director.
Yeah. Well,
Even though he's anti-Semitic.
He's fucking crazy, but he's a good director. Have you ever heard the tapes where you should suck my dick because I deserve it? All right, on that note, Andrew, give yourself a plug real quick. We got to add Frank.
Yes, all right. So just to keep in mind to everybody, when I'm at the nursing home on Monday, I always get a copy of the New York Post because cell phones aren't allowed in the building. So I just got to keep that in mind to everyone. All right, so yeah, have a good week, everybody. Yeah, Frank will put this calling in as we speak. So you guys have a good rest of the show, and until then, take care, everyone.
Thanks, Andrew.
all right. Andrew goes back into his tunnel. Congratulations.
Nice. Dude, listen, we need someone to read us the paper. You know that show on New York One where the guy goes through the paper? That's like
Yeah.
Andrew for us.
It's called In the Papers.
In the papers with Andrew.
You should add another segment with Andrew called In the Papers and have him read terrible Post articles so you can rip them apart.
Or from like the tabloid section of the Post where they're like, Bimbo says goodbye. So did you see David Wright? I guess we'll pivot to sports. I don't know what Frank wants to talk about, but once we get him on, we'll figure it out. But did you see David Wright had to go back to New York because his shoulder's all jacked up?
David Wright's done. You know that, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No,
They
but
haven't announced anything.
Terry Collins came out and said the third baseman's job is Jose Reyes'.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a wrap on David Wright. He's gonna have to fight for first base at bats. He's that's you may have seen the last of David Wright on a baseball field. That's a sad thing.
Frank, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
All right, how you doing? How's it going, Brian?
What's up, Frank?
Not too much.
So,
What do you got?
were you listening to the show earlier?
Yeah, I've listened to the Oscars fiasco. And
Yeah, the nonsense.
That was nonsense. But I think we're gonna pivot to sports. We did a lot of the politics and more. We're gonna talk some sports. So we were just commiserating over the fact that David Wright is most likely done playing the game of baseball, which is it's a damn shame because the guy had a ton of talent and he sort of went down the Nomar Garcia Parra road of just injury. And the sad thing is, I don't think he was juiced up like Nomar.
No, and he stayed here for the down years, and then finally when we get good, for him to exit the stage now would be a pretty sad thing for him.
Now, I got a question for both of you. We'll go Frank first, then Brian.
Yeah.
Do you think David Wright can swallow his ego and become Lenny Harris and become a pitch hitter?
well, like we talked about last time, he's making $20 million. So it's the Mets and himself are in a tough spot because he can't retire. He's going to give it a go, but he's 34 and his body's obviously breaking down. He's had major surgeries. I mean, right now, after the events of this week, him coming back to be a pinch hitter would be a miracle. But do you want a $20 million pinch hitter on your team?
Well, it's guaranteed money. We're giving him that $20 million anyway. So unless we want him to sell hot dogs at Citi Field, we might as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if he actually retires, we would get that money back in insurance.
Yeah, but that's not fair though. You can't expect a guy to retire. He's 34. It's not that old.
I think David Wright's the type of guy who I don't think he's going to take a pinch hitting role. You know what I mean? I think he's just going to say, that's it. If I can't play the game. You never know because there's a lot of money on the line, but I think he's probably going to hang it up.
That's tough, man. To leave that kind of money. I know Michael Kadire did that, and I know that they're tight, so it could be something of that nature, but he's a lot younger than Kadire was, It's a shame. When he ran into Ike Davis that time at that pop-up, he was never the same.
Oh, what was that from like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah. That was you got to realize that was Ike Davis. So that was the year before. Yeah, before Ike Davis got jungle fever and missed a whole bunch of time.
Oh, boy.
So it was a while ago. Anyway, let's do predictions. So I'm, a constant pessimist. Nick is all Mets win about you, snarf. I don't think so. I didn't think so last year. I don't think so this year. I thought the year we went to the World Series, we got lightning in a bottle. We got career years out of guys. We got resurgent years that a guy's over 30. We just had a lot of things break our way. Now we're stuffed with young pitching, which is always great, but it's young pitching that the vast majority of them have had injury issues. I actually like our lineup, and I think for once we actually got a little bit of depth. The problem is our bullpen, outside of, Beecher White Familia, who's going to miss some time, and blow saves in the World Series Familia, we got nothing. We got nothing in the bullpen. This team's going to flirt with the playoffs all year long, and then sputter out in the end. The old, Willie Randolph special.
I disagree. I mean, we made the playoffs last year with all our injuries. With all, I mean, I know it was a wild card, whatever. One game we lost. That's because you can't beat Bumgarner in a one-game spot. But we made the playoffs last year with everything going wrong. All we have to do is have some kind of stability of health this year, and we're going back to the playoffs. I see like a 95-win season out, to be honest with you.
Okay, so who's just to fit into position? Who's healthier this year than they were last year?
Everyone.
Pitcher-wise.
Pitching-wise, Harvey's healthier. DeGrom's healthier.
Now, my thing is this. If we get healthy years out of Harvey and DeGrom, and they're what they used to be, and Steve Matz stays in the lineup, stays in the rotation consistently, I do agree that we will be very good. But I think there's some factors that people aren't considering. A, obviously no right, whatever. But B, Bartolo Colon is like he's not Sandy Koufax, but what he is, he eats innings. He has a high 3 ERA and pitches.
He did bring a lot of stability, but he's 45-year-old Bartolo Colon. You're worried about that?
If you got to rely on a 45-year-old pitcher, you're in trouble.
Look at his numbers the last 2 years. You could set the clock by him. 13 wins, 3.7 ERA, and 200-plus innings. The guy throws strikes. He eats innings. He rests your bullpen. Once every 5 days, you're not going to have a long man swing. He just does it. And
but that balloon's going to pop any second.
Yeah, listen, I thought 2-3 years ago when the Mets first signed him, I was like, and he had that great year in Oakland. He had 18 wins, remember? I was like, there's no way. He's back on steroids. He's going to get caught. This is ridiculous.
He's back on steroids.
And then he proved us all wrong. Listen, I would stick with him until he does pop, because you don't know. Big, sexy guy, long life. Who knows? Maybe his birth certificate's fake. Maybe he's not that old.
But he's not even on the team.
I know. He's on Atlanta. But we'll probably sign Kelly Johnson and trade him to Atlanta.
Oh, boy. Well, listen, the Mets have a lot of question marks. All these pitchers, I wouldn't consider all these pitchers healthy coming off arm surgery. The only thing that is the saving grace for the Mets is maybe that the National League isn't that stacked. I mean, outside of the Nationals, the Cubs, and of course you got the Dodgers. I mean, after that, everything's pretty much open. But
Rick, give us a number.
Listen, the Mets pretty much the last 2 years have been a 500 team. Outside of in 2015, they were a 500 team, and then Cespedes came on the team, and like you said, they caught lightning in a bottle. They went crazy. I think they went like 40 and 21 down the stretch. Last year, same thing. They were below 500. They got lucky with that weak September schedule, but I don't know. Maybe figure 86, 87 wins. But again, are we happy with just making the wild card and going 1 and out? I mean,
I'm not.
It's good. I mean, it's good for the fans. It keeps the fans, interested until the last game of the season. But we have to be realistic.
Well, listen, it's good for business too, because now that the last 2 weeks of the season are meaningful. So people are going to the game just selling hot dogs and stuff.
Right. But that's what all these wild card games are meant to do is keep.
Absolutely. My thing is this: I don't give a shit about revenue because I know that those bastards can print their own money. What I'm worried about is I want a championship. I wasn't alive in '86. I've never seen a Mets championship. It'd be real nice. I don't think this is a championship team. I don't think they've gone out and made improvements from the World Series team that lost. This team, unless something happens, unless Lugo is, the second coming, something crazy happens. Right now, I think they're a pretty decent team that could hit injury and be terrible.
I don't see it. I don't know why you're so pessimistic. 2 years ago, we won 90 games. We're in the World Series. Last year, the wheels fell off. The worst things could happen last year, and we won 87 games. This team has Jay Bruce. I know everybody wants to get rid of him, but he's going to hit this year. He's going to play well. It's got Cespedes. It's got Walker. It's got a lot of key cogs, and our bench is really deep. The starting pitching, if 2 of the 3 guys who were out last year, Matz, Harvey, and DeGrom, stay healthy, just 2 out of 3, they're all gonna win 15 games. Our first 3 guys are gonna win 15 games.
I don't know about that. Listen, these guys again, they're coming off arm surgery.
I understand that, but I just
do you think the first half of the year they're gonna they're gonna be on pitch counts and limited innings? These guys are going to go 5 innings, 6 innings every start for the first.
They're 6-inning pitchers anyway. You know what I mean? They're not like they're forever.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, is that good? I mean,
that's just the way baseball is now. That's just the way it is around the league. Look at the teams who won the World Series the last couple of years. The Cubs last year and the Royals before that. They had a 7th, 8th, and 9th inning reliever. That's what you need. And I think the Mets have 2 of the 3. They just need to go out and get the 3rd guy.
Okay, who's the 7th and 8th inning guys?
No, we don't have a 7th inning guy. What's his name? The guy who's going to be the closer is going to be the 8th inning guy.
Who's that?
What's his name? From Arizona.
Reed?
Yes.
I'm not in love with Reed.
Was that Addison Reed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I never put too much stock in the bullpen outside of a closer. I mean, you could pretty much get lucky, and
Yeah. The bullpen, you throw something against the wall and you hope it sticks.
Yeah.
I'd rather go with young guys, see what you get. You might get Gil Martin had a little stretch there where he was like fucking dope, and then the wheels fell off him. But the lefty out of the bullpen, I think we have trouble with. The long man out of the bullpen, when we break camp, our bullpen's going to be a problem. And like you said, our starting pitching goes to the 6th. Outside of Syndergaard, who does pitch pretty deep into games. We're going to need some help. We're going to need. It's difficult. And listen, we're going to get taxed the shit out of that bullpen because there's going to be no.
Yeah, I said that the Mets will probably go for the first couple of months with a 6-man rotation just to keep these guys rested.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
But I don't know. Sometimes it's counterproductive because going on 5 days rest is not good for the pitchers. Sometimes.
Right. No, they'll. I mean, I could see them going 6-man, but they got to keep them on regular rotation. I think there's a lot, especially early in the season. There's a lot of extra days off built into the schedule. They'll be all right. And by the way, Addison Reed had a 1.97 ERA last year in 80 games with 77 innings pitched, 91 strikeouts. He's legit.
Really?
He's legit. We don't have to worry about Addison Reed.
All right, I'm sold. I didn't realize his numbers were that good.
Yeah, he's a fine pitcher. Ever since he's gotten to the Mets, he's been a world beater. He had a 1.17 for us the year before in limited action.
Yeah, I get that's a lot better than you think it is. How many holds did he have last year?
I don't know how many. I don't think they have holds.
Oh, that's a stat.
Well, I mean, like I said, the good saving grace with the Mets is that all these problems are shared by every other team in the National League except for maybe the Nationals and the Cubs and the Dodgers who are stacked. So I think the Mets just need to stay above water, and then if they're close, maybe they go out and make another move. Yeah,
I got to give it to you there. The one thing I got to give Sandy, and I'm not a Sandy guy, I kill him a lot of the times. But I will say that he's not one of these guys who goes, well, this is my team. If he sniffs the playoffs, he makes moves. And you got to respect that. And so far, he hasn't made a bad one.
Well, that's the Wilpons have to say yes on that. They have to sign off on.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is this: they wanted to shore up the bullpen already, but they wanted to get rid of Jay Bruce to get the money to do it. I think that would have been a big mistake to trade him for a bucket of baseballs and to get a reliever when you can keep Jay Bruce, have him play well this year because I think he's going to play well. And then if you still want to trade him at the deadline, if Granderson's playing well or any of them you can flip, then you can flip him for the reliever you want or even for a bat at a position you might need.
Right. I think if anyone, Curtis Granderson's going to go.
Sure, but we got big ifs. I don't know if Conforto's the real deal. I have no idea if that guy can play.
He can't hit lefties.
Well, then it's a platoon situation, which ain't the worst thing in the world with some old, in Granderson and Bruce. You know what I mean? That if you spelled them with Conforto all the time, I got no problem with that.
Well, the Mets lineup, they do have some depth to play with, so it is good. But, you got sore hips at a Duda last year, who's already proven that he's streaky as hell, and he's missed the glass, which is, a combination for Jeremy Pitt.
I have no idea what we're going to get at a Lucas Duda. None.
You're going to get the same thing. You're going to get strikeouts every day, and then he'll go on a 3-4 game stretch where he hits 4 or 5 home runs.
Well, two years ago he did that, and it was great. Last year he did it with the injuries, and it was terrible.
Yeah, he's a streak hitter, and he is when he's hot, and when he's cold, he's very cold.
This is exactly what you're going to get out of him. You can write this down. He's going to bat 254, 12 home runs, and 58 RBIs, and 370 at bats.
That's no good. That's not enough. That's not close to enough.
That's what he do. That's him. What are we going to get out of d'Arnaud? I think that's a bigger issue because this is a make or break year for d'Arnaud.
I am done. I am done with d'Arnaud. He's not a Major League Baseball player. He's not a good catcher. He can't hit anyway. I don't know why he's still on the team, to be honest.
I don't know. I think he's got a lot of talent. His problem is staying healthy. At once I thought he was going to be a future All-Star. If he stood the course.
The hot run he went on, he got hurt. When he came back, he's never been the same player.
Yeah, his obvious thing is staying healthy. He can't stay healthy. But he's a question mark, just like guys like Conforto.
He falls into the line of. I know baseball is more of a skill than like say the NFL or anything, but he's kind of a little bitch. And when I say that is, listen, catching is tough on your body, and you can't be a little bitch. He's small. He's like my size. He's not a professional ball player. Just the wear and tear on him, and
catchers are usually around your size, John.
Nah, Mike Piazza, he was dope.
Yogi Berra was like 5'7".
Mike Piazza 6'3".
Yogi Berra was like 5'7".
Oh yeah, dude, he's the fucking best ever. It's a completely different era. Now we're fucking Houston high school kids getting them huge.
Yeah, and he used to catch with an oven mitt.
Yeah. And
catchers are rarely 6 feet tall.
Well, I'm just saying not necessarily 6 feet tall, but like thick motherfuckers like Pudge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Here's one thing about these Mets though. You know what you're not going to see this year? You're not going to see anybody like Eric Campbell playing in an everyday lineup at all. Every day you're going to have Major League Baseball players at least, and for that, for being a Mets fan the last 10 years, I'll take it.
Oh, we're not going to break camp with fucking Andrew Brown batting cleanup.
Exactly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, listen, the Mets, these Wilpon cocksuckers have really they've given us some teams where they're like, yeah, fuck you at spring training. I will say the last couple of years, and I think it's because they have this young pitching as a catalyst. Like, listen, this is going to go away to free agency, hit by the iron's hot. I think that's why they've done it.
Listen, if you got the whole pitching staff on the cheap, it's not that hard to just buy an offense, and they still, in my mind, haven't spent enough.
I think they've spent a little. I think they've gotten a little too old. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the deal, like obviously the deal that the Yankees gave to Jacoby Ellsbury was outrageous. Like I didn't expect them to give that kind of money, but they chintz. They always do that. They instead of giving that A+ free agent big money, they give the 2B free agent money.
Well, that year that was Curtis Granderson, and that signing worked out pretty good for them.
Yeah, right. The bulk of their money is on David Wright, who makes $20 million, and I think Curtis Granderson makes $16 million. So,
right.
Yeah, and Cespedes, obviously.
And Cespedes, whatever.
Well, yes, if Cespedes is worth it, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, listen, and honestly, that 1 year,
the David Wright money is killing this team. As far as if you swapped him out for just a decent player at a third of his salary, you'd have a lot more money for.
Right. I mean, listen, I've said it time and time again. They should really sit him down, talk to him, and say, listen, it's time to retire.
But well, what? That's such a bullshit excuse, and this is why. Because there's no goddamn salary cap. Listen, Wilpons, I know you're making so much goddamn money. Go out and sign some people. You'll make more money. It's an investment.
They get fined by the luxury tax. That's what.
Now, who gets? And that's listen. The 2009 Yankees won a World Series, saying "fuck you" to the luxury tax. They went out and signed Beltran, Teixeira, McCann. They didn't give a fuck, and they won a World Series. Let's do that.
I agree, because you think that team lost money on the deal? Never. You know what I mean?
No.
If you manage to get the title, it doesn't matter what you spend because you're going to make it back.
And the Mets, because they're not the Yankees, titles are few and far between. It becomes that 86 team, they're still making money off that. Oh, it's 86 remembering night. Wow. Let's watch Mets Classic. Oh, look, Lenny Dykes are doing coke in the dugout. Ha ha. They still make money off that shit.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Like, if they would have won a couple years ago, we would be talking about 2014 Mets.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen. Let me tell you something. You heard it here first. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but in the next couple of years, this team's going to win a title, without a doubt.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, man, you got to believe.
It's fading away. Just think about it from 2015 to now. Matt Harvey, another surgery. DeGrom surgery. Syndergaard surgery.
Sure. I mean, you listen. I worry about that because that is the state of baseball today. Look at, half the pitchers in the league have had Tommy John surgery.
All right, but I will agree with you. But outside of Chris Carpenter, what pitcher has had 2 Tommy Johns and ever been any good?
Yeah, 2's tough. 2 is tough.
Yeah, and Zach Wheeler, the savior that was supposed to come up last year.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best one.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, it's fucking Dark Knight. Can't even give himself a hand job anymore. The guy's fucking elbows falling off. Syndergaard, the only, the Hulk Hogan looking motherfucker we got. That's it.
Yep.
I like DeGrom.
They'll pitch better this year. Everybody looks good in spring training so far. I expect big things out of this team.
Yeah, I'm weighing my options still. Listen, I'm not sold on Familia in the playoffs.
John, you sound like you're cautiously pessimistic.
Listen,
well, he's a Met fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to tell you, all right, enough Mets. Let's talk about the Jets cutting fucking Eric Mangold, huh? I guess, what have you done for me lately?
That's time. You know what I mean? I got no problem with that.
You think they cut Rivas?
They did already.
Rivas is gone.
They released him.
Oh, perfect. So did they fire his
how
head
did
coach?
they not cut Rivas? Rivas can't play anymore, and then he
No,
goes.
they released him. They released
I know.
him yesterday.
But I'm saying, like, he never had a chance to stay. That move to safety for $9 million a year. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his UFC career because he'd been knocking motherfuckers out all the time.
Yeah, he lost a couple of steps last year. So
lost a couple.
Yeah, and then once he got hit with those felony charges a couple of weeks ago.
Listen, the Jets are going to be able to do a lot of, they're going to have a lot of cap money now, and we're yet on another rebuilding adventure.
You got to fire that head coach, bro.
I agree. I would have fired him already.
Listen, because here's the thing. You can hang your hat on your defense. Even when you were bad with Rex Ryan, you still had a good defense. You brought in another defensive coach, and you couldn't stop a nosebleed last year.
No.
Fucking, Julio Jones ate you guys up for dinner. Yummy.
Yeah.
I think we should bring back Rich Kotite.
Oh God.
How about Eric Manginius?
Yeah.
That's the only guy. He went from coaching the Jets to coaching the Wagner College division quadruple one college team.
Well, he got a bad rap. He drafted pretty good, but he got a bad rap.
He was terrible. He was a terrible coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thanks,
Frank.
So, parting shots. Let's go with how about the fact that President Trump has lowered the deficit? What's good? How about that?
It's all too short sample. You can't go by any of this nonsense.
Okay. How about the Dow Jones up over 21,000? How about that?
Yeah, you think it wouldn't? You think if it wouldn't have done that without Trump? Come on, give me a break.
Absolutely not. It directly happened in the first 4 minutes of trading this morning. Went up 200 points. How does that have to do with Trump's speech?
Yesterday was down.
More money, more problems. Record highs. Can't give me that.
How's the unemployment doing?
Adventures on the Tracks. You can catch